When it comes to platinuming games, I've done a lot of different genres of them. A lot of FPS games, a few RPGs, especially the Fallout series, some platforming collectathons, and of course at one point in time I had an addiction to shovelware, but thankfully have mostly recovered from that outside of the yearly dumpster dive. But there are a few genres that I've never really touched or even touched at all, such as puzzle games, at least not without a guide present or it being something really simple like those Jigsaw Finale games. The two genres that I would say I've never really touched for the most part outside of maybe one or two games are racing games and sports games. I mean, yeah, I've done a handful of low-quality racing games, some really god-awful excuses for sports games, if you could even call them that, and one great game that's kind of a mix of the two. Then in 2024, EA finally revived the college football franchise, giving us the first new game in over a decade with College Football 25. Now that I'm a much bigger college sports fan and have a team to cheer for, I figured it was time to finally platinum a legitimate sports game before the release of College Football 26. And along the way, we get to make Clemson football legendary again. College Football 25's Platinum only contains 16 total trophies. It is considered a 3 or 4 out of 10 in difficulty, and I would say the entirety of the game's difficulty comes from one single trophy, which we'll get to later. It can be obtained within 10 hours if you have some idea of what you're doing, though it took me closer to 15 for reasons that'll be shown later. Upon loading in, we select Clemson, duh, and the easiest difficulty because I'm a complete noob when it comes to sports games. Then I decided to start out with a single exhibition type game just to get the feel of a sports title for the first time really. Clemson at home versus Georgia Tech, so let's see what happens. Now one thing I will say is that outside of the multiplayer stuff, I was having an absolute blast with this game. There was some really fun moments throughout the single player portions of these streams. I don't know what most of these plays actually are.
To throw, it's King. Trying to extend.
There we go.
On the move, but King drops back.
Oh, that's a face mask.
Secondary. He's escaping the pocket now.
They didn't even call the. Anyone else see that blatant face mask? Oh, you know what? I won't complain.
The quarterback had really nothing other than just kind of lower his head and get as much as he could. Fortunately,
yeah, there we go. I actually scored.
Look at this. They flip it to the kick.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Go, 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 go. All right. Let's roll.
First play of the drive, they'll come out throwing. He eludes the rush.
Oh, wide open. Yeah.
Touchdown, Tigers.
Let's go. He was down way behind the line.
From the shadow of the goal line, looking to throw the ball.
There we go. Oh, that wasn't good. Let's go! What the heck was that? Let's go!
we've seen him go behind coverage and make plays down.
What the hell was that? I think it bounced off the Tech player and it landed in his hands. Let's go, Solano. Thank you, Georgia Tech player. This is exactly why we play on easy. Yeah. Suck the sack, boy. Suck that sack. My high school didn't have a football team.
Earlier in the game, it's not changing at all. They become
He's got some open field ahead.
Pick six. Come on, I want a shutout. We gotta shut them out. This is not what you're supposed to do, of course, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing at this point, so it's okay. I don't expect to be perfect. Ooh! Let's go! Anyway, our first game is an absolute rout, and we get our first trophy for finishing a game in the Play Now mode. Never doing basketball games? Yeah, because they shut down after a year. There's our first trophy! Before the next game, I modified the AI stats to make them more harmless than whatever the most harmless thing you can think of would be. Changing these stats does not void any trophies, so feel free to make this game easier than Bonnie Blue. Our second trophy is earned by bringing out the turnover chain. It is best earned by playing as Miami, as they're kind of the ones that came up with this whole gimmick, but that's not the only option if you want to go with other teams. We're playing in the other Miami. There we go, it's a turnover. Force a turnover with any team with a unique turnover tradition. Let's go. During the rivalry game here, I pulled off an 80-yard touchdown pass for another easy trophy.
Looking down the middle.
Has that ever actually happened? And we're going to get it here. Possibly.
At the 30. The 10.
Perfect! Let's go! Perfect play. Exactly what I wanted to have happen. This game is an absolute slaughter that leads to my fourth trophy for scoring a 50-yard or more rushing touchdown.
Tailback when I can send the tailback.
Oh, maybe. 50 yards! Let's roll! Cradle the ball. After winning a game 79-0, I decided to go for the trophy for beating a rival with a final play touchdown. This is best done by setting the game to the minimal amount of time for quarters and not scoring so it stays at 0-0. I initially misread the trophy and thought it would unlock simply by winning on any last-second play, but I guess I was not smart enough to actually read the trophy description correctly.
To the game on the board, it's 3-0.
It is a nerve-wracking feeling as a football player when the game comes down to your kicker, and he has to go.
Oh shit. It has to be a touchdown. It has to be a touchdown. I just looked at the guide again. It has to be a touchdown. My second attempt had a safety that happened, which I quickly rectified. And then this happened.
Lead in the waning moments. They'll try to run it in.
Get it! Yes! Let's go, Mafia!
When you dream of
Got it. Let's go, Mafia. You got me the trophy. Let's go, boy! The rest of the stream was spent trying to get 200 yards rushing and 200 yards passing with a single player in a single game. It should be noted that this trophy is either kind of buggy or doesn't track exactly right, as it's possible that you can gain and then lose some yards, but the game doesn't seem to track when you lose yards. Spoiler alert, it did not work at all during this stream. I also tried it as Alabama against Auburn, and despite scoring over 100 points, it still didn't unlock. So that was it for stream number 1. The immediate focus of the second stream is to knock out the Dual Threat Trophy. Though more troublesome than I initially expected, I was able to get it during a rout of Florida State. Go Kid! Hey, we got the trophy! We got the trophy, yes! So now it's time to start up the Ultimate Team mode, which I believe is normally like some kind of pay-to-win microtransaction heavy game mode. However, the two trophies in this game are laughably easy, as the first unlocks by simply playing the mode for the first time. And that's an easy trophy. Then all we have to do is just earn 10 stars in the Ultimate Team mode, which can be earned by playing the easiest level of training games. Within 20 minutes, we've earned 10 stars and earned a trophy and learned a little bit more of the game mechanics. Gotta do a little bit more than that. Hey, we got it! 10 challenges in Ultimate Team, let's go! Next up is playing a game with a custom school from the Download Center. Unfortunately, the trophy guide is completely wrong on this one and several others, so I had to resort to Google to find a solution. Despite some difficulty, I was able to eventually grab the trophy thanks to some external guides. Got it! Okay, well that's really stupid. I don't know why it doesn't work the way that it should. So now it's time to head off to the actual online multiplayer mode called Road to the College Football Playoff. Here's a brief rundown on how this mode works. It's played in seasons, and each season is 10 games long. The mode features a tier system in which you go up in tiers after winning several games in a season. However, you can lose progress if you lose a game to a weaker team. Your win-loss setup resets after every season. The hardest trophy in the game by far requires you to improve from Recruit, which is the lowest tier, to the next highest tier of Freshman, getting up to 92nd place or higher overall. To do this, you will need to win 3 to 4 games in a season without losing to any lower tier teams. Now, the guide suggests playing as a tier 3 team such as Texas Tech. Just make sure that you choose to play against higher ranked teams so you don't lose spots. More on that later. My first game involved me losing quite badly to Penn State, so I actually just quit the game when it was clear that I had no chance, and upon loading back in, I got the trophy for playing my first game in this mode. Oh, trophy. Cool. For the second game, I played as Texas Tech against Tier 2 Michigan. Then, for some reason, the team changed to LSU at the last second, which I apparently didn't even acknowledge. And here's how that game went.
Third down. Coming after it. Under
Oh!
heavy pressure.
Oh! Oh! Guys! We might have found it! We might have found a really bad player! I'm just going to do a lot of running plays in all honesty, because passing plays tend to end badly for me. He quit! He rage quit! That's right, guys. I actually made the other player rage quit, which counts as a win for me, and it pops the trophy for beating a higher ranked team. This is going quite well so far. Yes! It worked! It worked! My third game against Ohio State didn't work out as well. In my fourth game, I managed to score first with a field goal, but unfortunately for one reason or another, this game makes sure that every opponent can pick off nearly every pass I attempt, but I rarely manage to do the same, and I rage quit out of that one. For Game 5, I decided to test my luck as Georgia against the Tier 5 team Middle Tennessee State. I held them on a 4th down, and a few plays later managed to take a 7-0 lead. I was on the very rare positive end of an interception, followed by a field goal to take a 10-point lead. I then managed to score another touchdown, and I actually made the other guy quit, giving me my second win. 5 games left in this season, with only one more win presumably needed, but boy did I have some bad information. For Game 6, I went back to Tier 3 Texas Tech against Tier 5 UMass. I missed a field goal because I'm bad at the game, and then a bunch of ACC refs give UMass a touchdown because the ACC has the worst refs in the game. That's a hold. Are you not going to call it? You're not going to call the hold. You're not going to call the blatant ass hold. In the second half, I managed to score on my first possession and take the lead with a 2-point conversion. They nearly converted on 4th and 41, and after a near pick 6, the opponent quit, giving me my 3rd win. Yes! Quit! Go ahead and quit! Go ahead and quit! We got it. We got the win. We're gonna win, boys. We're gonna win. I might have actually done this without boosting. He didn't... Okay, he did leave. I was about to say, was he gonna leave? Game 7 put me up against Auburn, where I scored a field goal at the end of the first half and only trailed by 4. Then the game decided to let them convert a 4th down into a touchdown, followed by a rather BS-y pick that caused me to crash out and rage quit again. Oh, it's a pick for him! But not for me! Game 8 put me up against Tier 5 Army. Side note, why the hell is Army in Tier 5? They nearly made the playoffs. I rage quit after giving up another semi-BS-ery pick, and then this happened when I got back to the online menu. And it dropped me ranks, despite the fact that I was... Yeah, this is bullshit, so the guide's wrong. Yep, the guide specifically states that playing as Tier 3 won't drop you if you lose. and this massive mistake led to me dropping ranks with only 2 games left in the season, putting my trophy in serious jeopardy. Game 9 was against Mississippi State, and it started out like this. One thing I really do need to say is that this online is now fully loaded with a combination of no-life tryhards and at least a few hackers. So if you decide to go for this platinum, you're probably not going to have a very good time online, especially if you're not very experienced with football games. The opponent in Game 10 actually quit during the intro segment, which is supposed to give me a win, but for whatever stupid reason it chose not to count because this game is so well designed. The actual 10th and final game was against Nevada, and I assumed that a win might be just enough to level me back up to get the trophy. It went about how you'd expect.
God, I hate this game so much.
Fun fact, members of my chat actually looked into some of the people I played against during this stream and confirmed in my next stream in comments that I had indeed played at least against one hacker that night, so that vindicates me at least a little bit. I ended up attempting this trophy for a solid 4 or 5 hours off stream, and I was never able to win more than 2 games in a season. Usually ended up only winning 1 game in a season. So I had to resort to boosting, unfortunately. And how does this boost work? Basically, you need to find another player that is currently in the recruit tier. Then you go into the multiplayer and have the player that is supposed to get the trophy select a low tier team. Have the other player select a higher tier team, then search for your opponent's tier at the same time as each other. Also, of course, let each other know what team you have selected. If you get paired together, proceed. If not, immediately back out before the game actually starts. Then just complete the first play of the game and then have the higher ranked player back out. Repeat this process a total of 3 or 4 times, 4 to be safe, and then finish off the season. Unfortunately, this will only work for one player, as players in different categories can't match with one another. As in, a freshman can't match with a recruit. Kind of a stupid system, and it makes boosting more inefficient. I guess technically what you could probably do is keep playing through the same strategy, but have the lower tier person keep quitting out after each round, like the start of each round, and it might still get the higher tier person enough wins without costing the lower tier player any major losses that drop them. I don't know if that would work, but I assume that it might. Thankfully, I was able to get the worst trophy done in the game through this method. With that trophy finally done, I decided to modify the opponent's stats a bit before the final push just to make it a little more interesting and fun. The remaining 3 trophies are tied to Dynasty Mode, and although it features a lot of actually really neat recruiting and team building stuff, we don't even need to touch any of that to get the trophies here. Basically, we need to play through the 2024 college football season, during which we need to win the Heisman, make the playoffs, and then claim the Natty. Time to truly make Clemson great again. The opening game pits us against the Georgia Bulldogs, a game that we lost pretty badly in real life. But this is how it starts out in the video game.
First down. And look, he's going to take a shot right away.
Easy peasy.
And he's got it down there inside
Of course, I have the settings fairly easy, because I'm still not good at this game. But hey, that's a win. Well, it's not a win at all, because that's literally the first play of the game, and we still have a long way to go. We end the first half with a nearly 50-yard touchdown pass. Oh, wide open! And he's in! Let's go! Britting stool, let's go! And although Georgia lucks their way into a touchdown in the 4th quarter, we end up with a pick 6. Oh, motherfucking in! Suck it! Because I can't say this in real life about this kind of a game because we'd lose badly. And ultimately claim a 35-7 victory. Week 2 puts us against Appalachian State, and if you happen to be familiar with the history of college football upsets, as well as the short that I did about this game, you know why I might have been a bit concerned here. Now, it should be noted that you are allowed to sim each game, but simming of course comes with certain risks, so you definitely want to manually save before each one of them. Wait, what? Wait, what? Are you joking? They lost. am I going to actually have to play App State because these guys lost? Oh my god. Yep, that's about what I expected in this. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually hilarious. I'm not mad, I just have to laugh because that's hilarious. Okay, good. It counted as a win, thank God. Game 3 is against my dad's alma mater of NC State. I'm going to try to get him to play a game against me in the future, either in this or in College Football 26. We actually throw an early pick, which is definitely not good for Cade's Heisman stats. Well, that's not a good start. But we take the lead early in the second quarter.
It's okay for him to make catches.
Oh, wide open. And that was a late hit, but that is A-okay. We got it. We got you. We got you. We extend our lead near the end of the second, force a nice safety, and soon enough hold a 23-point lead. Now, unfortunately, this stream was also kind of pivotal in the channel's history because it was the final stream for my 7.5-year-old MacBook. It finally died from a streaming standpoint. I mean, it still kind of works in other ways, but it did get me through a lot of really rough times and was critical to building the channel, so consider this the old laptop's official send-out. Rest in peace, old man. A week or so later, with my brand new laptop, we enter the fourth and final stream of College Football 25. Our first game is against Stanford, which we end up winning 54-0, with Cade putting up some absolutely potentially record-breaking stats, though he isn't even in consideration for the Heisman because of blatant anti-Clemson bias that also exists in the real world. Game 5 is against our rival Florida State. We didn't get to play against DJ Bungholio, but we ended up winning 28-0, which is pretty good. I simmed Game 6 against Wake Forest to save some time, and then proceeded to play the only school that turned me down when I was applying to college. We get a safety on UVA's first possession. Yeah, I fumbled the ball out the back of the end zone. Lead 34-0 at halftime. And despite a failed Hail Mary, we end up winning 50-3, yet Cade is still not in the Heisman race. I simmed Game 8 against Louisville, which is a game we actually lost in 2024, but Cade actually puts up some very good stats instead, although we still are not in that completely rigged Heisman race. We sim Week 9's game against Virginia Tech and win, and do the same against Pittsburgh in Game 10, which was a very close one in real life, which finally puts Cade into the running for the Heisman. Game 11 is against FCS Southeast, which is a non-existent team. This game was actually the Citadel out here in the real world. I decided to play this one just to boost Cade's stats for the Heisman, and we ended up winning 56-0, with Cade getting 8 total touchdowns, which I think would now be a Clemson record. Even better, after this game, we have 3 players in the top 5 for the Heisman, giving us pretty good odds for that trophy. Though we lost to USC Junior in the real world, we win the simulation in-game, setting up an ACC championship game against Miami. A good win against Miami will net us a college football playoff spot and probably the Heisman as well, because for whatever reason the Heisman is determined before the playoffs actually begin. We end up winning the ACC championship 35-0 with a strong performance from Cade, and we ultimately win the Heisman for the third to last trophy. Let's see what happens here. Heisman! We got it! He actually won it! This earns us a spot in the playoffs where we first fight against Oklahoma, which gets us the penultimate trophy for making the playoffs. This has been more stressful than it should have been. There it is, playoff bound. Earn a spot in the playoffs. After a few sims to save time, we go up against the Ohio State Bucknuts for the national championship. So how does our championship game go? Let's find out. Screw things up. Wide open. Take the 20-yard pickup. Let's go. Win.
Gonna run it. It's Maffa.
Go Maffa. Let's go. Let's go.
Here comes the field goal unit.
Yep, that's about right.
With that miss,
Ohio State actually got called for a penalty. That is a shock.
back to throw. It's Howard. Running out of time in the pocket.
All right, let's go defense. We got them down to about the 3-yard line, maybe. After the first half, the game is still tied 0-0. I feel pretty bad for the people in the stands because that's got to be one heck of a boring championship game. We finally managed to put up some points in the third. Imagine paying $2 or $3 grand for the tickets for this game, and then this is how it goes. Safety, let's go!
Well, Chris, you and I were
That
talking
might
ahead,
actually be enough to win it.
Eventually, we'd see.
And long from their 25. Quarterback drops back, probing the second.
Not good, but good enough. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Touchdown, Clemson.
That might be enough to win it. That might actually be enough to win it. Double platinum night, something like that. They go Star Wars Platinum, then College Football Platinum. Oh! Suck it, buckholes!
Defenses that really build their defense to play in space still have an ability to be sound at the line.
That's the sack. Get him this sack. And then we finish off the game, win the national championship, and nab that platinum trophy. Scored all our points in the third quarter. Dang. It's one of those games. There it is, last one standing. College Football 25 Master. We did it, guys. We did it. Well, that was an experience. I need to say that I love the single-player stuff in this game. Getting to make Clemson as legendary as they were in 2016 or 2018 was an absolute blast. Nearly all of the trophies in the game are really, really easy to get, especially if you change up the stats of the enemy teams. But the multiplayer part, especially that one particular trophy, kinda ruined the platinum for me. Thankfully it can be boosted, but without that it would have been a much more difficult and potentially time-consuming platinum to eventually manage to net 3 wins in a single season. Thank y'all for watching, please leave a like and subscribe, ring the bell, and let me know down in the comments if you've gotten this platinum or any other major sports games. I finally got a true sports game done, and I'm sure I'll do College Football 26 at some point, but we will have to see about those multiplayer trophies. Again, thanks everyone for watching. See y'all back here real soon for the next video.